everybody. Would you please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Saunders.
Here.
Cochee.
Here.
Spinks. Here. Janutus.
Here.
Fluharty.
Here.
Mizek. Here.
I have a motion to excuse Councilman Asbury by Mezak, second by Saunders. Call the roll, please.
Saunders.
Yes.
Cochee.
Yes.
Spinks.
Yes.
Janutus.
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes.
Mizek. Yes.
Council, you have the minutes of the budget work session of October 25th, 2021. Any corrections? Seeing none, can I have a motion for acceptance by Janutus, second by Spinks? Call the roll, please.
Saunders.
Yes.
Cochee.
Yes.
Spinks.
Yes.
Janutus.
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes.
Mizek. Yes.
And you have the minutes of the work session of Monday, November 1st, 2021. Any changes to that, corrections? Seeing none, motion for acceptance by Janutus, second by Fluharty. Call the roll, please.
Saunders.
Yes.
Cochee.
Yes.
Spinks.
Abstain.
Janutus.
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes.
Mizek. Yes.
And you have the minutes of the regular session on November 1st, 2021. Any corrections to that? Seeing none, motion for acceptance by Mezak, second by Saunders. Call the roll, please.
Saunders.
Yes.
Cochee.
Yes.
Spinks.
Abstain.
Janutus.
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes.
Mizek. Yes.
And under old business, we have ordinance number 9908-21.
Amending ordinance number 9657-18, authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with the GPD Group for engineering services for the city and declaring an emergency.
And can I have a motion for third and final by Mezak, second by Saunders? Mike, you want to take that?
Thank you, Mayor. This is an ordinance for our yearly engineering contract with GPD Group. The change from the past contract is there is hourly rate adjustments, raises for various disciplines as was presented to council. The average increase of these salary increases was 1.1%. It's our recommendation that we approve this contract for 2022.
Thank you. And we had no suspension on that one because we don't have enough of a quorum to pass it. So if it passes, it'll be 30 days before it goes into effect, which this is for next year, but 30 days before it goes. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Saunders.
Abstain.
Cochee.
Yes.
Spinks.
Yes.
Janutus.
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes.
Mizek. Yes.
Ordinance number 9914-21.
It's an ordinance to make appropriations for current expenses and expenditures for the city of Bedford during the year 2022 and declaring an emergency.
And as we are still in budget hearings, I'd like to place this on second order. Can I have a motion for such by Fluharty, second by Janutus? Call the roll, please.
Saunders.
Yes.
Cochee.
Yes.
Spinks.
Yes.
Janutus.
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes.
Mizek. Yes.
Ordinance number 9915-21.
Authorizing the city manager to purchase a John Deere 1200A bunker and field rake for the Parks and Recreation Department and declaring an emergency.
And again, we have a question on that, so we want to put this on second reading. Can I have a motion for such? By Saunders, second by Mezak. Call the roll, please.
Saunders,
Yes.
Coche,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
No.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Mizek.
Yes.
Get to reports. This time I'm going to take the pleasure of going first. Number one, I want to thank everybody for re-election and for myself and for our wards 1, 3, and 5 to all be re-elected. Keep our team intact. We work well together, and I'm glad to see we're going to be together for another 4 years. And I, personally want to thank all the people that voted to show their confidence in me as the mayor, and I don't take that lightly, and we're going to work just as hard as we did before to make sure things are right for the city. Also, this past Saturday, we had a Blue Coat dinner honoring the police and firefighter of the year down at the Eagles Hall, which we commend them for a great dinner they put on every year for our police and fire departments, and recognize a police officer and firefighter of the year who are selected by their peers, which means a great deal to each guy personally, because it's the guys and girls that you work with that are voting to put you in that position. And we want to thank Officer D'Amadio from the police department and Medic Raschenbach from the fire department on their selection as a police and firefighter of the year. Also, on Veterans Day on the 11th, we had a very nice ceremony down at the Veterans Park. It was the best attended we've had that I can be. Yeah, we had a lot of people there, and it was very nice. And Veterans Day is different than Memorial Day. Memorial Day is to honor those that gave their lives for our freedoms, and which deservedly they need a day for that. Veterans Day is to honor all veterans who served. And like I say, it didn't matter if you were on the front line firing a rifle, or if you were back in an office filling out requisitions. Everybody in the military has a specific role to play, and everyone is just as important, because if the guy doing the requisition sends the wrong bullets, the guys on the front line are in trouble. So the ones that are, obviously they got a much tougher job, not taken away from that, but everybody in the military has a role, and they all have to do it to make sure that that things go well for everybody. And I want to thank the VFW for putting that memorial and honor on this past Thursday. And on our city YouTube, there will be a film of it. I think it should be ready by tomorrow, so check out our city YouTube site, and you'll get a little flavor of what the Veterans Day was about. And also, I just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving coming up. Make sure you eat a lot of turkey. I'm going to try my best, as I do every year, obviously. And with that, I will go to City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. I can say that you stole some of mine now.
And that's my first.
Again, I just want to take a minute to congratulate both officers, Officer D'Amadio and Medic Raschenbach. The award was very, very deserving. They both deserve that. And I also wanted to acknowledge, as I mentioned to some of the gentlemen on Saturday, I want to acknowledge all of our safety forces, all of our officers, all of our firemen and women, our clerical staff, our auxiliaries, our dispatchers, what they do day in and day out, it's unbelievable. and we're very lucky to have each and every one of them as part of our team. It's unfortunate, I think, that, you know, some of the negativity that they've faced nationwide over the last 2 years, and in areas or some that feel not appreciating them. And I can tell you that who does appreciate those positions, those officers and firemen, men and women, I appreciate them. Our administration appreciates them. This council appreciates them. And again, I think we're very lucky to have them in Bedford. So I just wanted to mention that. I also want to thank the Eagles. The Eagles makes donations every year to both departments. They make donations to our food program for those in need, and they did that again this past Saturday, and it's greatly appreciated. So I wanted to acknowledge that organization. I want to, real quickly, just a couple of updates. Union Street resurfacing, the surface course is scheduled to take place this week, weather dependent. Obviously today didn't cooperate too much, but they are scheduled to be out later this week. We have our lighting ceremony on the Commons on the 24th, Wednesday before Thanksgiving, 6 o'clock sharp, so for all of those that can make it. And we also have Christmas in Bedford Falls coming up on December 11th. Parks and Recreation Department are working to coordinate that. There's some new things this year. They're working with some of the local businesses, so please mark your calendar for that. And the last thing, I just wanted to provide an update regarding Broadway, the city's project that we've been looking at and are getting ready to bid, the water project, curb repairs and electrical upgrades. And that goes hand in hand with ODOT's plans to resurface Broadway. We're going to be bidding that project very soon. What we're waiting to hear back on is ODOT's start date for the resurfacing phase of that. Originally, they were planning to start resurfacing Broadway next summer, which means once we bid our project, we're going to start construction immediately over the winter. Obviously, because we want to be done before ODOT comes in to resurface. ODOT is now discussing the possibility of pushing that out till the beginning of 2023, as far as the resurfacing of Broadway. If they do in fact do that, we will still bid our project now. We just may wait to start the project until the spring, just because it's easier to do water projects in the spring and not in January. It makes things a little more difficult. But we're really waiting to hear back from ODOT. And then we're also waiting to get a response for our request to lower our percentage. For those of you that recall, the Broadway project is going to be about $2.3 million. Bedford is responsible for 20% of that. So it's over $500,000. We're requesting that percentage to be dropped based on improvements that we've made over the years, and we're hoping to get a response to that. And I think our request is favorable. End of report.
Thank you. Mr. Law Director.
I just also wanted to congratulate the officers of the years, the elected officials. I look forward to working with you, and have a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Mr. Finance Director.
Very similar to what the law director said. Congratulations again to the officers, both fire and police. Eagles, thank you for all your donations. And everyone, happy Thanksgiving. One other thing, council and ourselves have been discussing, I will be retiring next year. So at that point, we will have to be looking for replacements. So stay tuned for that. We will have advertising going out in the near future. And then my report.
That's if we let you retire.
That's right.
Thank you. Mr. Saunders.
All right, just a couple quick comments. People who are raking their leaves, make sure that you keep them on the tree lawn. If we get a decent snow, we end up with one heck of a mess in the street, not to mention the fact that they do clog our catch basins and keep water from flowing properly on the street to where it needs to go. So with that, please be cognizant of parking on the street when the leaves are being picked up during this time of the year. Try to avoid parking on the street because it makes it very difficult for the trucks to get around you to pick up your leaves. And if you're parking in front of your neighbor's house, you're gonna make one angry neighbor. The same thing will happen, of course, when it starts snowing. We had a little taste of it this weekend, but we all know that it will get heavier, and stay off the streets if you possibly can. The one thing I wanted to bring up, which I'm surprised nobody here has, I don't know if anybody has cable with the Oxygen Network. Our dispatch center has been featured on that show. I believe it's Saturday night or is it Sunday night? I don't remember for sure, because I TiVo it, but because I'm never home to watch TV. But they have been going through our dispatch center with their live action calls and so forth, and that show's on for several more weeks. So if you get a chance, go and see what they have to go through in that department. It's amazing at how they can keep things straight and get things dispatched properly. It's a job I certainly wouldn't want. After that, I am going to say happy Thanksgiving to everyone, and we will see you all a week from Wednesday on the square for the lighting ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Spinks?
Good evening, everybody. There was a water main burst over on Crestfall. Mike, I had talked to you, I spoke to you, some of the residents were concerned, because this has happened, this is the second one in the last couple of months, and the last time the water department hit the gas line, Dominion's been down there. They've been wonderful. They've been right on top of it. They were there at 8 o'clock yesterday morning. I had asked you, and I think you were gonna find out for me, if they have plans to totally redo that, since there has been so many.
Yeah, we just started pulling the information, so I won't know the age of that current line and the history of all the breaks. I'll probably have that later this week.
Okay. I know with winter coming, but the guys did an excellent job, yesterday morning, got it done pretty fast, got the water turned back on for the residents. Little report for the, museum, Bedford Historical Society, as the vice president. The museum store, Lori Schroeder has come on board and has done a absolute phenomenal job redoing the, museum store. All kind of stuff that's going on there. They will be open for the tree lighting on November the 24th from 5 to 8. And then Small Business Saturday, November the 27th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then in Christmas in Bedford Falls from 12 to 3 p.m. Something new this year, they've added, they're gonna have local artists and artisans. If you have a skill or a trade or talented in pottery or glass blowing or art, please contact Lori Schroeder up at the museum. Also, the Dunham House will be a traditional Victorian Christmas this year. So a lot of exciting stuff going on at the museum. They've been putting in a lot of work. Dot, thank you for helping out with the Dunham House, and Jean and all the other people. Y'all just do a fantastic job in the garden in the back. My husband does all kind of research. He is all into recycling and all on board with me with the picking up the trash and everything. There's a company that he located online, and some of y'all, well, yeah, I don't know if you know about it. It's called The Grove. And it's all recyclable stuff, and it's very neat. So the trash bags that I use, and I've gave out to some of the Bedford Coalition, they are, when you purchase these, it supports veterans and disabled in our environment. So these bags, a normal trash bag takes 100 years to degrade. These bags, 2 to 3 months, they go back in the boxes that they're in, everything in. The company is all, their goal is by 2025 to make our world plastic free. So everything that they have, all their products, is a real cool thing. You can go on their website, Grove, or they answer the phone. I called and talked to them today, they're gonna send me a bunch more of these so I can give out to the people that help out pick up trash. And happy Thanksgiving, end of report.
Thank you. Mr. Janutus.
Yes, sir, thank you. Hey, that's kind of a neat idea. You know, we're gonna come to the end of our trash contract and undoubtedly will go up. But, you know, some of these things like plastics and whatnot, we have to discover ways to overcome them, and biodegradable bags is a wonderful idea. And so I'd be curious to know more about that. So
I'll get you some.
it's interesting. Yeah, I'll be glad to have them. I'd like to congratulate, of course, the Officers of the Year. You know, it is a very high award because it does come from their peers, as the mayor mentioned, so it's a special thing. And of course, congratulations to the elected officials. And also, I'd like to take the time to express my gratitude for the service department picking up all the leaves, for one thing, because I came to realize that Bedford has something like over 50 miles of streets. That's over 100 miles of tree lawn. That's like, once they go past through the city just one time, that's like sucking up leaves almost all the way to Toledo. That's quite a job. And they keep going around and they pick them all up, and you know, they make sure they get them all, and I just think that's a wonderful thing. And of course, you know, I have to thank them for all the decorating they do, for lighting the square. You know, that's a big deal for Bedford. Not only just to have the square lit like that, but just the ceremony, lighting the lights. Everyone looks forward to that. So I wanted to thank the service department for that. Thank you. End of report.
Thank you. Mr. Fluharty.
Well, everything's been said since I'm the last one, I think, or Paul, you got one, I'm sorry. Just wanna, glad to hear that Union Street's finally getting almost finalized, thank God for that. The people were glad to hear that too. Also, I also wanna congratulate everybody for the win 2 weeks ago, the election night. And the officers at the award banquets for Saturday night. And I'd like to see everybody tree lighting, not this Wednesday, but the Wednesday afterwards. So happy Thanksgiving, and then the report.
Thank you. Mrs. Mezak.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for all coming. We really appreciate it. This is a night that we can toot our own horns. We're all together again, which is a great feeling. I want to congratulate the mayor and my other 3 colleagues that were still here. Also, as everybody else said, want to congratulate both the fire department officer and the police officer that were the 2 nominated candidates for Officer of the Year. I've only gone to one of the doings of that for these gentlemen at the Eagles once in my 20-some years here, because the same time that they have their celebration, it's a special day for me, because this past Saturday was Saturday, November 13th, where we celebrated our 56th wedding anniversary. I've known my husband since I was 10 years old. I'm not patting myself on the back, I'm just trying to give you a message. Thick, thin, and whatever you want to say, learning experience, we've done it. Coming here as a city official, if I would have had to go to school, I've told this story before, if I would have had to continue my education, doing governmental work would have been totally boring. But when you have the hands-on treaty, hands-on teachings and education for these positions, it's the nicest thing you can do, and that's to help somebody. Veterans Day, we had a beautiful crowd, the weather cooperated. We had a couple from other places, other cities that joined us. I am not a veteran myself, but I am a child of a veteran, and proud to say I had seven uncles, and I had two other uncles in Europe that were fighting the Second World War. And you know what, no matter who you are, or what you've done for your country, and for the people that you live with, and the people that are your neighbors, friends, and acquaintances, we all have to be proud, because you know why? Our parents, and the parents of people before them, started this country, and it's up to us to do it the right way, and keep on going, and keep our head up, and move forward, but do remember them on their special days when it happens. Now also, the lighting ceremony is Wednesday the 24th, but if you're there after 6 o'clock, the lights are off. So get there before 6 so you can see them come on. We want to bring happiness to the children there with the fire department, and then Santa Claus may come down the street. We will all know that on Wednesday night. I want to wish you a good week, and talk to you soon. Thank you.
Thank you. And congratulations on
Thank
56
you.
years.
Oh, I was
That's,
just a baby,
pretty
I
good.
grabbed the cradle.
You were only 9 when you got married?
Yeah, I was just. No, that's what I meant. We were 9 years old, both of us. But I'm the old lady in the marriage. I'm 2 months and 6 days older.
Oh, okay.
So, gotta remember that. I robbed the cradle. And I get reminded about that several times a day. Just a little bit of respect, one way or another, we'll take it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, let's get down to business. Ordinance number 9916-21.
It's an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Neroni and Sons for the replacement of a staircase at the wastewater treatment plant and declaring an emergency.
Have a motion for suspension by Mezak, second by Saunders. Call the roll, please.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Mezak.
Yes.
Motion for third and final by Spinks, second by Fluharty. Mike?
Thank you, Mayor. As the ordinance stated, there's a concrete staircase that leads actually from our boiler room to the flow meter operator station. That staircase has completely deteriorated and has since failed. We went ahead and got 2 quotes, one from White House Construction, which came in at $14,860, and the second and lower quote was from Neroni and Sons, $13,600. Our recommendation is that we move forward with this repair as soon as possible.
Thank you. Question, Don?
Yeah. Mike, is the replacement a concrete stair or is it a metal stair?
It'll be concrete.
Okay. Okay. Call the roll, please.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Mezak.
Yes.
Ordinance number 9917-21.
Which will authorize the city manager to apply for a fiscal year 2021-2022 Community Development Block Grant Fund through the Cuyahoga County Department of Development for the construction of a new pool house at the municipal pool and declaring an emergency.
Need a motion for suspension by Fluharty, second by Janutus. Call the roll, please.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Mezak.
Yes.
Motion for third and final by Saunders, second by Mezak. Mike, again?
Yes, these are this one and the next one, I'll kind of just touch on. There's 2 grants that the county makes available for communities. The first one is a $150,000 CDBG grant. The second grant, which is on the next ordinance, is a supplemental grant for $50,000. Our intent is to apply for both of these funds to utilize the money towards the construction and renovation, I should say, of the pool house. We've been out there, as we've talked about it at our ward meetings, we've talked about it at other council meetings. When we redid the pool in 2007, it was just the pool. We kept the boiler room, kept the boiler, believe it or not, and the pool house. That is the original from the mid-60s. I believe it actually is 1964. It's showing its age. It needs to be addressed. There's funds that we've secured. Finance director, I think, talked about it a little bit at the ward meetings, that could go towards this project, and we're looking at grants that can help subsidize that. And these are two that we believe will score very well. So we'd like authorization to apply for both of these grants. And obviously, if we're successful, which we wouldn't know till the spring, we will then move forward. These grants are due the next 30 days.
Okay. Questions? Call the roll, please.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochi,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Miesak.
Yes.
Ordinance number 9918-21.
which also authorizes the city manager to apply for the community development supplemental grant for the construction of a new pool house at the municipal pool and declaring an emergency.
A motion for suspension, Fluharty, second by Spinks. Call the roll, please.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochi,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Miesak.
Yes.
Motion for third and final by Saunders, second by Mezak. And Mike, you explained this one already. Any question? Call the roll, please.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochi,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Miesak.
Yes.
Ordinance number 9919-21.
Is an ordinance, amending ordinance number 953217 concerning chapters 1965 titled Medical Marijuana Dispensaries of our codified ordinances of the city and declaring an emergency.
Motion for suspension by Spinks, second by Fluharty. Call the roll, please.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochi,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Miesak.
Yes.
Motion for third and final, Mezak, second by Saunders. John, you want this one?
That's basic, go ahead.
We're cleaning up this language as far as the approvals of medical marijuana dispensaries. We wanted to acknowledge that they are not permitted in the historic district or residential districts. They are a conditional use in a business district or the mixed-use district. And what that means is any approved applicant through the state would have to take that and go in front of planning commission for approval and ultimately to city council. But this legislation clears up that it's not permitted in residential.
Thank you.
And also, it seems to be a hot issue these days. They are gonna be expanding these dispensaries, and so we want to be, ahead of the game a little bit and dictate where they can be.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochi,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Miesak.
Yes.
Ordinance number 9920-21.
Amending ordinance number 9840-20 passed December 21st of 2020, providing compensation for the clerk of court and declaring an emergency.
Motion for suspension by Mezak, second by Saunders. Call the roll, please.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochi,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Miesak.
Yes.
Motion for third and final by Fluharty, second by Spinks. Mike, or Frank, you can take it.
Yeah, the clerk of court, they're requesting from council the authority to have a pay increase, I believe it's 1.75%. It equates him to what the other clerk of courts are making throughout the state at 85% of a judge's salary. And they're requesting that to go into effect for next year. City's portion of that, we pay 60%. And then we divide that amongst the 14 other entities. Our share would be about 25% of that based on court cases. So we'll end up paying 15% of that salary.
That's good. Any questions? Seeing none, call the roll, please.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochi,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Miesak.
Yes.
ordinance number 9921-21.
Authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with one of our unions, the Ohio Council 8 and Local 2007 American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, AFL-CIO, adopting the terms of an agreement reached on October 21st, 2021, ordering them into effect and declaring an emergency.
Motion for suspension by Janutus, second by Fluharty. Call the roll, please.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Mizek.
Yes.
Motion for third and final by Saunders, second by Mezak. Mike?
Thank you, Mayor. This contract, it's for all bargaining unit employees in our service department, water department, wastewater, tax department, and other clerical positions. It is the same financial package that was settled with the FOP, which was a 2% increase for 2021, 2.5% increase for 2022, and a 2% increase for 2023. It is also the hospitalization changes, which includes a slight increase in deductibles, as well as the monthly premium expenses moving to an 8% of the COBRA rates. Those also mirrored the previous agreed contract with the FOP. And it's our recommendation that we move forward and accept this.
Thank you. Questions? Call the roll, please.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Mizek.
Yes.
Now it comes to that portion of hearing of citizens. If you wish to speak, please come forward, state your name, your address, and your comment.
Good evening. My name is Penny Wood. My address, 395 Columbus Street. I'm here to address two issues. Actually, to clarify one mistake of information portrayed on the November 1st meeting that started at the time of 18:15:20. Paula, at 8:15:56 on November 21st, 2021, you stated the female resident refused to give her name and address. Please go back and watch the taped council meeting of October 18th, 2021. I stated my name and my address at the podium at 9/19/36.
Which we have corrected.
I stated it a second time that I live on Columbus Street at 9/20/14. And finally, when the rhetorical question was asked by Sandy at 9/21/43, ma'am, do you live in Ward 1? I felt if any attention had been paid, the question would not have been asked. And so my answer was, I am a resident of the city of Bedford. Also on November 1st, 2021, at 8:17:16, Paula, you stated, take a deep breath, ask the question the right way. You continue to say, give your name and address when asked. Don't come with attitude, or your concerns won't be addressed. You don't think. My address was stated twice, and my name was given.
May I ask you a question, please?
You may.
Okay. First off, I did not hear you give your address at that time of your outburst when you came that evening. Secondly, I don't see why you have to go over it again now to re-embarrass us for something that was done and taken care of. Right now, you're gunning for somebody here, and it's not fair. And I have the right to say that because I follow the Constitution very closely. And my First Amendment right is to say, if I have something to say, I'm going to say it. Thank you.
I have the same right, thank you.
Yes.
I can tell you, when you re-watch that video, you will hear my voice shake. Please know that that was me reining in every ounce of control I had to be as respectful as humanly possible. I understand friendships are formed over years, But when you're in the public eye, truth and verifiable facts should come first. You were uncomfortable because a friend got reprimanded by a lowly resident, and you didn't like it, nor did you check facts. I was non-threatening. I was not vulgar. I did not jump up and down. I did not yell and scream. I made no threats. Yes, I was unprepared. I did not plan to attend that meeting due to personal reasons. But I could not stand by one more campaign speech on council time and the city's media for council meetings. With this not being stopped, seriously gave the appearance that all present up here on the round table, for lack of better wording, were supporting and backing Sandy as candidate. Also saying 4 minutes per meeting were not afforded to the opposing council, or the opposing candidate. Yes, I know the election is over. Friends with security have voted, but still, it presents bias. Not one single Facebook post or picture of Sandy picking up garbage since November 1st has been posted. Today we had a 10-second mention of trash being picked up. Why is that? Because the election is over? No need for campaign speeches. I only have 2 questions, basically. Paula, may I please get a copy of the Roberts Rules of Federal Procedures and Oath and Rules for City, State, and Federal that you follow, and how that applies to your attempt to put me in my place without using my name? See, I was taught to respect my elders, but when that respect is broken, you must earn that respect back. My second question is for Mr. Gambosi. With 4 out of 5 minutes being spent campaigning on council time and city media going back to July 2021, is Sandy Spinks going to be issued an invoice for all this time?
Sorry, I didn't get what you said there. Would you repeat that?
With 4 out of 8 minutes being spent campaigning on council time and city media going back to July of 2021, is Sandy Spinks going to be issued an invoice for this campaigning time?
I did not recall she was campaigning. So I will look at, I'll address that, refer that over to the law director. You can respond.
Okay? Because if not, then when I run for office, or any other candidate runs, then I feel we should also be afforded 4 minutes of every council meeting campaigning and beating our own drum without interruption or bias. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Good evening, Denise Singali, 27 Tudor Avenue. I would like to first say hello, and I would like to take a brief moment to thank my team of volunteers and the residents of Bedford Ward 1 for the opportunity to represent you. It was wonderful to meet so many great people and to learn what was important to you. That being said, I would like to quickly bring some of that information to the city's attention. From June 1st, 2020 to September 8th, 2021, Bedford had 187 home sales. 35 of those home sales were in Ward 1. But as I went door to door with my voter list, I found a lot of people no longer residing in Bedford and discovered many new renting residents to our community. I also discovered a lot of the residents that I spoke with who had lived there 4, 5, 6, or even more years than that, but have had no communication from any representative from the city. Question: how can the city better communicate effectively with the amount of new residents moving in? And what about the ones who have been here for years? Not everyone receives a water bill, Not all residents have internet. And a lot of people are no longer on Facebook or social media anymore. And correct me if I'm wrong, but we no longer require a certificate of occupancy for moving into a home or know who's coming into the city. Am I correct?
Mike, you can answer that one.
We do get information that comes in. As far as occupancy, there's certain things that we followed under the State of Ohio Building Code that have been changed, that we no longer can
So
require.
they no longer get anything like this like I received 23 years ago.
No.
It's actually typewritten too. Okay,
And that's by order of the court.
pardon me?
It's by order of the court that was changed.
Okay,
Since
thank
then.
you. Solution, possible. After talking with people from other varying communities the last 6 months, I found out that the people of these communities were very happy with the communication they received from their council people and/or the city. So I became curious. That communication, depending on the city, consisted of some receiving a monthly e-blast from the city, to receiving a quarterly newsletter from their ward council person by mail, email, and posting it on their council social media page. This is only a few ways some communities are communicating, but this is targeting everyone in these cities and communicating to the diversity of how people want to receive their information of what is going on. These varied modalities of communication were the same desired by the residents I spoke with in Ward 1. Please note, there was the overwhelming way everyone I spoke to with that did not want to be communicated with was by text messaging. That was very overwhelming. I urge these communication suggestions to be strongly considered as we enter into 2022 if we want to keep transparency and the residents informed. Next, businesses in Bedford. We need to help, uplift, and revitalize our local businesses. As a small business owner, if anyone, especially council, has a concern or issue with or about a business or businesses, please talk to the owners. The last thing any small business owner wants to find out is their businesses are being put out on social media in any which way, shape, or form. Example, YouTube, and talked about in a negative light. Along with the Bedford Downtown Alliance active presence now, more is needed to positively help increase our small businesses' exposure and help attract new businesses into Bedford. Our small businesses in Bedford have a low social media presence. It's hard to tag and promote them without that presence. In a meeting I attended during the summer, it was brought up about meeting with or having a class with some of these businesses regarding their social media. I will be looking into this more over the next few months if the interest is still there. Lastly, today I would also like to address some concerns shared with me by seniors still living in their homes. While there is senior transportation, the Bedford bus that was designated for Bedford seniors is gone, correct? The actual bus that we had here
Correct,
personally.
but we still provide that service, but yes.
Okay. As a result, some of the families and/or the seniors now have to arrange for transportation, sometimes otherwise due to the amount of communities that bus has been stopping into and around, or the availability of the community senior bus. Example, this was brought to my attention that the bus had to be booked much farther in advance than before, and sometimes the doctors wanted to see them that day. They were unable to do that through the bus. It was also said that it can take longer to get to and/or from an appointment for some of them needing to eat or take medication at a certain time was impossible, or with bathroom use. So those were a couple of the issues that were brought up regarding the bus. A lot of them seem to be not informed of who they can or should contact in the city. Few said that if they did contact someone, they were given another number or told to contact the county. They also expressed they were never followed up on. There is one lady that I am looking for a wheelchair ramp. She contacted the city quite a few times, was told to contact the county, never was followed up on.
To fund a ramp?
No,
Or to,
no, no, no.
to build a ramp?
She's looking for a wheelchair ramp. There are seniors, they are seniors, so they're on disability and social security. So they're both, or I'm sorry, Medicare. They're on Medicare and disability. They are in need of a wheelchair ramp. They actually they contacted about 2 to 3 years ago. They contacted. I was the first person that came back to their house, and she expressed all of this in a very long conversation. I said I would look into it. So I can address that later. This leads me to ask, how do we communicate and help our seniors better, possibly? Not everyone is a member of the senior club or gets the newsletter that gets mailed out. How can we get that newsletter to all the seniors? Not all of them get it, again. I most recently discovered, and again, please correct me if I'm wrong, that the seniors are not receiving wellness calls anymore.
No, we stopped the wellness calls.
Okay, that was something that was questioned over the past couple of weeks. I had not heard anything about it. Okay. Seniors may have a cell phone at the insistence of a relative that is paid for them, but not all of them use the cell phone well, and a lot of them are not on the internet, mostly due to the cost. Again, I am urging the city to strongly consider evaluating our communication practices going forward into 2022 to keep the residents informed and connected. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, can I have a motion for adjournment? By Fluharty, second by Janutus. Call the roll, please.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochi,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Mezak.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone.